As an author, consultant, and parent who uses Singapore math, one of the questions I often get whenever I say that I work with Singapore math is, well, what is that? What is Singapore math? And I want to tell you the answer is super quick and easy. It is the math that is taught in the country of Singapore. Now, why is that a big deal? Let's take a look at some of the reasons why this program and the way math is taught in Singapore is such a big deal. As I mentioned before, Singapore is a small country that has a math program that makes a difference. So when you're looking at what a Singapore math curriculum is, it's referring to the curriculum that's taught in the country of Singapore. And it's based on research-based strategies that have been researched and used over a long period of time that help students learn math in a way that makes a huge difference. In fact, the reason why this is such a big deal is because the whole world took notice once Singapore changed the way they were teaching math. At one point in time, fourth graders who took the TEMS test, which is one of those, international tests that students can take, they weren't doing very well. But as soon as these strategies were implemented, Singapore jumped straight up to the top. And they have stayed in the top since implementing these research-based strategies. Now, if you look at this and you're wondering, is this new math? Is this math that I've never seen before? The answer is no. Really, all it is they've taken the best research, the best strategies, and they've put them together in a way that works. So when you're looking at these strategies, you may even recognize some of them. Some of them may have been before you were in school, so you may not have seen them before, but it's all about how math makes sense. One of the main differences is how Singapore just approaches their understanding of mathematics. It is not just a subject that we're going to learn in school. It's a way of learning. And so they use this pentagon as a way to reference how we're going to think about our children's mathematic education. And one of the things that they emphasize is problem solving. So that's at the heart of everything they do. So you're going to see word problems. You're going to see real life situations. You're going to see instances where students are working at a higher level. That's kind of one of the biggest things if you flip through a book that you're probably going to notice first. Lots of word problems, lots of language. And that's because we want our students problem solving. They're still going to learn all the great concepts, skills, and processes, but we want them to understand why. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I was told to just do what the teacher did and write it on the board, and I had no idea why. And I didn't ask questions because I was a compliant kid. But what if you want to know why? Well, that's how we're going to teach our kids. We want to teach them to understand math in a way where they can ask questions. And if they forget something, they can go back to their reasoning and figure out how to solve the problem. So we're going to include lots of opportunities for students to reflect, which is called metacognition, where we're getting them to talk about their thinking and explain what they're doing. And we also want our students to have a great attitude about math. You may not know this yet, but you can. And so you're going to see that is mainly the huge difference when you're looking through a Singapore math program, that we are going to focus on problem solving and that why and not just the how. Now, there are a few things that completely set it apart. I'm going to touch on them quickly here. You can check out future videos to see these more in depth. But one of the things you'll notice is the concrete pictorial abstract idea. Now, again, this is not unique to Singapore. This is based off of work from Jerome Bruner, where students are going to have experience with concrete manipulatives. They're going to grab cubes. They're going to use real life objects to understand and use their hands to show mathematics. Then maybe they're even going to draw a picture or use some picture representations. And then finally, they're going to get to that abstract notation that we know as math. They're going to do that. But we want them to first have some experience with it so they have a memory. What the hands do, the mind remembers, right? So we want them to have that relationship. And all throughout their education, they are going to work within concrete pictorial abstract to help them really solidify a concept. Another thing that you might see is going to be this idea of visualization. You know, when you're reading a great book and you make a movie in your head and you really understand what's happening, well, that's what we want students to do in math too. We want to ensure that our students can picture what's happening, not just picturing an algorithm, but picture what does it look like? For example, team numbers 14. Well, it's really 10 and 4 more, so I can think about that. And we want them to have this idea of what mathematics looks like, what operations look like, how numbers are composed, so that they can be flexible thinkers. Because that's going to carry over into different types of variation. You will notice in any Singapore math textbook, you're going to have fewer problems, but they are going to be more complex. You're going to see mathematical variation, where students are going to change the mathematics just a little bit to see if they can fully extend a concept. You're going to see perceptual variation, where the model or the picture might change, and we're asking students to apply their thinking. Again, this is pushing that concept to go deeper and not spending an hour doing 50 problems of the same type, but more spending time going deeper into a concept and understanding it to its complex level, which in turn gives us really great math thinkers. Now, again, if you want to know more about those three things, I'm going to talk about them in future videos a little bit more in depth, and you can check those out. For now, I just want you to take a minute to see what is a Singapore math program, what does it look like, what makes it different, and then of course, check out the other videos that will explain this a little bit more in depth. As always, you know, I have over 500 videos now where I'm modeling these teaching concepts aligned to the different textbooks, especially Primary Mathematics 2022. And I'm showing how these concepts work together to help our students understand math, enjoy math, and really solidify these concepts. And I'd love for you to check them out at mathwithpurpose.com. So now you know that's what Singapore math is. Basically, just all the great research strategies lumped together in a curriculum that has proven to work in the country of Singapore and across the world. If you want to find out more resources, be sure to check out the description below. And of course, check out my other videos as well.